The Tale of Ferdinand and Nina. In a sunny valley surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a gentle bull named Ferdinand. While the other bulls spent their days snorting, charging, and trying to prove who was the strongest, Ferdinand was different. He loved to wander through the meadows, sniffing wildflowers and watching the clouds make funny shapes in the sky. Not far from Ferdinand's favorite meadow was a little cottage where a kind-hearted girl named Nina lived. Nina had golden curls and always wore a bright yellow dress, just like the sunflowers she loved to pick. Every day after her chores, Nina would run to the meadow to visit Ferdinand. "Hello, Ferdinand," Nina would call, waving a bunch of flowers in her hand. Ferdinand would lift his big head, his soft brown eyes lighting up with joy, and he'd trot over to her. Though Ferdinand was the biggest bull in the valley, he had the gentlest heart, and Nina loved him for it. One afternoon, Nina and Ferdinand were sitting under the shade of a big cork tree. Nina was weaving flowers into a crown, and Ferdinand was lazily watching the butterflies flutter around them. But something seemed off. Ferdinand wasn't as cheerful as usual. "Ferdinand," Nina asked, "why do you look so sad today?" Ferdinand let out a long sigh. "The other bulls laugh at me," he said. "They think I'm strange because I don't like to fight or charge around like they do. They say I'm not brave." Nina put down her flower crown and placed her hand gently on Ferdinand's head. "Oh, Ferdinand," she said, "bravery isn't about fighting or showing off. It's about staying true to who you are, even when others don't understand." Ferdinand's ears perked up. But how will they see that if all they care about is strength? Nina thought for a moment, then her face lit up with an idea. "We'll show them there's more than one way to be special." The next day, Nina came to the meadow carrying a basket filled with paints and brushes. "Today, Ferdinand, we're going to make you shine like the amazing bull you are." Ferdinand was curious. He watched as Nina began painting bright, colorful flowers on his horns. She added swirls of blue, red, and yellow to his sides, decorating him with hearts, stars, and patterns that looked like rainbows. When she was done, she led Ferdinand to the pond to see his reflection. Ferdinand stared at himself, then let out a deep, happy chuckle. "I look like a walking meadow," he said. "You look like yourself," Nina replied, grinning. "Kind, peaceful, and one of a kind." That afternoon, Ferdinand walked back to the field where the other bulls were practicing their charging. When they saw him, they stopped in their tracks. "Ferdinand," one of the bulls called, "what happened to you? Why are you painted like that?" Ferdinand stood tall, his horns gleaming with colorful flowers in the sunlight. "Because I like flowers," he said proudly, "and I like being me. I don't have to fight to show I'm brave." The other bulls murmured to one another. At first, they didn't know what to say, but then one of the smallest bulls, a shy one who often stayed in the background, stepped forward. "I wish I could be brave like you," the little bull said softly. "I don't like fighting either, but I'm too scared to say so." Ferdinand smiled warmly. "You don't have to be like everyone else to belong. Just be yourself." Soon the other bulls began to understand. Maybe Ferdinand wasn't like them, but he had shown them a different kind of strength, the courage to be true to himself. From that day on, Ferdinand became the most admired bull in the valley, not because he was the strongest, but because he reminded everyone it was okay to be different. And every afternoon, Nina and Ferdinand would sit under their favorite cork tree, surrounded by wildflowers and laughter, as happy as could be. So, Ferdinand and Nina's story teaches us something very important. Bravery isn't about being the loudest or the strongest. It's about staying true to who you are. Everyone is special in their own way, and the world becomes a more beautiful place when we celebrate our differences. So remember, whether you like flowers, books, music, or something totally unique, always be proud of who you are. The end.